Welcome to my channel IITJ Olympiads and AP Physics with Ambarish. And in today's video I am going to discuss this epic problem. This was a problem asked in JEE Advanced 2016, and this problem was a nightmare for most of the students and even teachers. The main reason being that JEE itself did not stick to its syllabus. 3D rotation is not part of JEE Advanced syllabus, but still they went out of the way and they gave this problem on 3D rotation. So curious students, they can take it as an opportunity for learning 3D rotation, and the teachers also. So finally today I am going to solve this problem, and as a build up to this problem I had created 3 videos prior to this, and I'll be using the derivations that I did there. So if you do not recall the derivations, I encourage you to see the previous 3 videos, and I'll be giving the link in the description box. The 3 previous videos were about, the first video was about the concept of principal axis and principal moments of inertia, and then there was a video about the relation between revolution omega and the spinning omega and the angular velocity of the rigid body about the instantaneous axis. So that relation I derived in the second video in the series. And then there was a third video that in which I derived the angular momentum about a point. So I'll be copiously using the results that I derived in the previous 3 videos for purpose of solving this problem. Okay, so now let's get into this exciting problem and let's look at its details. So what's the problem statement? So 2 thin circular discs of mass m and 4m have radii of a and 2a respectively and are rigidly fixed by massless rigid rod of length L. Okay, L is root 24a, and so this length is root 24a. So this is also L and this is also L. So let me use a laser pointer. So you can look at the figure. This is L and this is also L, and these connected discs, the axis is perpendicular to the plane of the disc. Okay, and this length is root 24a. This assembly is laid on a firm flat surface and set rolling without slipping on the surface, so that the angular speed about the axis of the rod is omega. Okay, so in this case there are 2 angular velocities involved. One is the spinning omega. So the disc itself is spinning about its own axis, but this axis itself is revolving on the table such that there is no slipping of the disc relative to the table. So there are one is the spinning omega and one is the revolution omega. Okay, so these are the omegas that are involved. Okay, and also there will be some omega about the instantaneous axis, because this point is at rest and this point is at rest. So horizontal axis is the instantaneous axis. So I derived this result in one of the previous videos. You can see the relation between spinning omega, revolution omega, and the omega about instantaneous axis for this. Okay, so this assembly is laid on the firm and flat surface and set rolling without slipping on the surface, so that angular speed about the axis of the rod is omega. The angular momentum of the entire assembly about point O is L. So about this point we are calling the angular momentum as L in this figure. And then we have to comment on the statements. 4 statements are given. So statement A is the center of mass of the assembly rotates about z axis with an angular speed of omega by 5. So somewhere here there will be center of mass, and you know that because of spinning, center of mass will not have any linear velocity. The center of mass, because it's on the spinning axis, so its velocity will be only due to the revolution. So see, if I somehow can find the revolution omega, then it's very easy to find the speed, the angular speed of the basically center of mass, which is same as the angular velocity of revolution. So we'll look into it in the solution. Then second part B is magnitude of angular momentum of center of mass of the assembly about point O is 81 ma square omega. So there is some center of mass over here, and about this point O we have to comment the angular momentum of center of mass. Okay, we'll have to check option B. Then in option C, the magnitude of angular momentum of the assembly about its center of mass is 17 ma square omega by 2. So it's talking about the angular momentum about its center of mass, but here this option is ambiguous, and that's the reason the in JEE Advanced 2016 alternate keys were given, because there can be 2 types of frames. One can be a revolving frame and one can be a non-revolving frame, in which we can talk about angular momentum about point O. Okay, so we'll see both the cases. Okay, and then about center of mass, sorry. Okay, and then in option D, the magnitude of z component of angular momentum is 55 ma square omega. So we have to comment on these. So let's look at these one by one. So now let's find out the angular velocity of revolution. So you know that this L is given to be root 24a. Okay, so this is root 24a and this is a, and this OCA is a right triangle. Okay, this angle being 90 degree. Okay, so this is L, so which is root 24a. So using Pythagoras I can find out OA, which is the hypotenuse, that is 24a square plus a square under root. So OA is nothing but 5a. Okay, so OA is 5a, and now I can find out sine theta and cos theta. That will be required for solving this problem. So beforehand I'm finding the sine theta and cos theta. Okay, so sine theta is simply 1 by 5. Okay, so perpendicular is a and the base is 5a. So sine theta is 1 by 5 and cos theta is L by 5a. So that is root 24 by 5. Okay, so sine theta and cos theta we have found, and now I want to find out this angular velocity of the revolution. Okay, so what I am doing for finding the angular velocity of the revolution, so I can say that okay, so point A is the instantaneous axis, right? So point A will have velocity due to the revolution and velocity due to spinning. So now due to spinning alone, A will be coming out of the slide with a speed omega into small a, right? If the disk were spinning alone. Okay, and if it were revolving alone, it will be going into the plane of the slide with a speed capital omega into OA. Now since overall effect of this is that A is at rest, therefore the effect of revolution and effect of spinning must be cancelling for point A. So I can say that capital omega into this radius OA should be equal to small omega into CA. Okay, and we can just put value. So OA is nothing but 5a and this is small a. So I can say capital omega into 5a is equal to small omega into a, and that straight away gives me the revolution omega is small omega by 5. Okay, and that was our option A. So option A is correct. Okay, so now what about the angular velocity of the rigid body? So OA is our instantaneous axis. Okay, so I want to find out the angular velocity about the instantaneous axis. Okay, why it is instantaneous axis? Because point O is anyway at rest, because the whole thing is revolving about point O, and A is the point on the ground which is touching the disk. Okay, so this point and this point, because of no slipping, A is also at rest. So this whole thing is the instantaneous axis of rotation. Okay, so now velocity of point C I can find out in two different ways. So C, you know that if I can find out the perpendicular distance, this is L cos theta. From the vertical axis, the distance of C is L cos theta. So velocity of C must be due to the revolution alone, that will be equal to capital omega into small l cos theta. And since O is the instantaneous axis, so I can say velocity of C is also this perpendicular distance between C and instantaneous axis multiplied by omega naught. So both should be equal. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. So I can say capital omega into L cos theta. L cos theta is the distance from the vertical Z axis. Okay, so capital omega into this is also the speed of A, and using instantaneous axis this is also equal to omega naught into small a cos theta. This vertical distance is going to be small a cos theta. Why? This angle is theta, so this will be 90 minus theta, and this will be also theta, just like you do in inclined plane problems. Okay, so A cos theta is this vertical distance. Okay, so now this gives us the value of omega naught. If you equate this, see this equation, so this gives you relation between omega naught and capital omega. So omega naught comes out to be capital omega into L by A. Okay, and L by A is root 24, and omega, this capital omega was omega by 5. So I just put that omega by 5, and L by A I have put root 24. Okay, so omega naught is root 24 by 5 times omega. Okay, so keep this in mind. I'll be using this for solving the next part. Okay, now for the next part we had to find the angular momentum about this point O. Okay, so what I have done, this is, let us say, capital X and this is capital Y, and you can see for yourself that capital X and capital Y are the principal axes. Of course capital Z will be coming out of the slide, and you can see for these two these axes, IXY, IYZ and IZX will vanish. Something to this effect I had shown in the first video where I had talked about principal axis. Okay, so now what is the angular momentum about O? If I know the principal axis moments, so now of course omega naught I know. Omega naught is I found in the previous slide, root 24 by 5 omega. So but I need to find the components of omega naught along the x axis and the y axis. Obviously along the z axis omega naught component is 0, because it's in xy plane only. Okay, so omega naught vector comes out to be what? Omega naught into cos theta minus I cap minus capital I cap I'm using for capital X capital Y unit vectors. Okay, so omega naught cos theta minus I cap and omega naught sin theta plus j cap. Okay, so that's your omega vector. Okay, now what is the angular momentum? I showed it in the previous video. It's simply Ix omega x I cap plus Iy omega y j cap and plus Iz omega z k cap. Okay, so now I just need to substitute the value of Ix, Iy, and I can simplify this. So what I can do, so this is now omega x is nothing but omega naught. Okay, so this is angular momentum about point O, but we were interested in angular momentum, the z component of angular momentum. In one of the parts, z component is asked. So what I can do, so x component sin theta will be downwards. Okay, Ix omega x I cap, and this will have a vertical component. Ix omega x is in this direction, so into sin theta, that's the vertical component due to the x component of angular momentum, and y component of angular momentum will also contribute to the vertical component. So that will be equal to what? That will be Iy omega y, and this angle is theta. Okay, so into cos theta. Okay, so Iy omega y into cos theta and Ix omega x into sin theta. Okay, and now this becomes what? So you know that in omega x itself there is a omega naught cos theta involved, and you have to multiply it by a sin theta also. Okay, so omega x has a cos theta and this is a sin theta multiplication, so you will get omega naught into cos theta into sin theta. Okay, so omega naught cos theta sin theta, and there will be a minus x because there's a minus sign over here, so just this expression simplify. And similarly with the y component, you know that in omega y already there's a sin theta, and you have to multiply by a cos theta because omega y is in this direction and this angle is also theta, so omega y into, so Iy omega y into cos theta you have to do. So there will be sin theta into cos theta term. So I have taken sin theta cos theta omega naught common, and inside you are left with just minus Ix plus Iy. Iz is obviously omega y is 0, so I don't need to worry about Iz. Okay, and now I just need to substitute the value of Ix and Iy. So Ix is, if you calculate moment of inertia about x-axis is simple, that's 17 by 2 ma square, and Iy is, if you calculate this moment of inertia about this axis, it comes out to 1649 upon 4 ma square. Okay, so in fact you can see that the ratio of masses is 1:4 and the ratio of radii is 1:2, and you know that angular momentum has a dimension of ml square omega. Okay, so straight away you can see that whatever you get for this, the result for this will be 16 times of that. So that's why you can find the result for this and multiply it by 16 and add, so that gives you 17 by 2 ma square. So that's, you can use that as a trick for calculation. Okay, so anyhow that's very easy to calculate the moments of inertia. So Ix is this, Iy is this, and I have this result. So I just need to plug in the value of sin theta, cos theta, Ix, Iy and omega naught. So we just put in those values, and what do we get? So this is so sin theta cos theta becomes root 24 by 25, because one is root 24 by 5, other is 1 by 5. Okay, and omega naught we had found, that is root 24 by 5. Okay, and Ix plus Iy, you can take ma square common outside, and this is minus 17 by 2 plus 1649 by 4. So this comes out to be L about Z comes out to be 1938 by 25 a square m omega. So that's the z component of the angular momentum. Okay, and obviously this is not what option D says. The option D gives some other value, so option D is incorrect. Okay, now angular momentum from the revolving frame. Now I recall I said that they have not mentioned that, they have just asked angular momentum about center of mass, but they have not said whether they want from the translating frame or they want from the revolving frame. So in the revolving frame, the only omega that is visible is the spinning omega. From ground frame, the system appears to revolve also and spin also, but if you are sitting on a revolving frame on center of mass, the only omega that is visible is the spinning omega, because revolution omega is cancelled because you yourself are revolving in the same omega. So only thing that is visible is the spinning omega. Okay, so from the revolving frame, now again I can use the angular momentum formula Ix omega x I cap plus Iy omega y j cap plus Iz omega z k cap. But from the revolving frame, the only thing you see is the omega x, which is small omega of the spinning. Okay, and everything is 0. So you can just this simplifies to simply Ix omega x I cap, and you can just put in the value of Ix and omega x. So this comes out to be 17 by 2 ma square, and omega x, Ix is 17 by 2 ma square, and omega x is omega. and if you just multiply the two, you get 17 by 2 ma square omega. So option C may be considered as correct depending on what frame you choose. If you look from the revolving frame, option C is correct, but that's not mentioned in the question. That's why they had given alternate keys A and C, or simply only A. So both were given credit, either only A or both A and C. Okay. Now we need to comment on one more part. Okay. So what's the magnitude of angular momentum of center of mass about point O? So I want to find the angular momentum of the center of mass of the system about point O. That is simply m times RCM cross VCM. Total mass is 5m, and I need to locate the center of mass over here. Okay, and obviously the velocity of center of mass is into the slide. Okay, from this perspective. Okay, so RC is simple. So this center of mass is at the distance L, and this is at the distance of 2L. So what I can do, m into L plus 4m into 2L divided by 5m, that is 9L by 5. So that's the distance of center of mass. Somewhere over here you can say this is the combined center of mass. Okay, and now what about the velocity of center of mass? So center of mass is somewhere over here, and the system is revolving with capital omega. So for finding the velocity of center of mass, what you can do, you can multiply this capital omega with the perpendicular distance from the vertical z axis. Okay, and what will that be? So that will be 9L by 5 is the distance of center of mass. So horizontal component becomes 9L by 5 cos theta. So capital omega into 9L by 5 cos theta is the speed of the center of mass, which is into the slide. Okay, going away from you. Okay, so just substitute the values. Capital omega is omega by 5, 9L by 5 comes as it is, and cos theta you can put root 24 by 5. So if you simplify this is the velocity of center of mass, which is into the board. Okay, into the slide, and this distance is L by 5. So what you can do now, you can just take mass times velocity times this distance. They are anyway perpendicular, so sin 90 factor is there, so simple multiplication will do. Okay, so angular momentum of center of mass about O, if you calculate, that is 5m into RC into VC, that is 5m into 9L by 5 into 9 root 24 upon 125, that we found here into omega L. Okay, and this comes out to be 162 upon 125 root 6 ml square omega, and this is not what option B says. So that therefore option B is also incorrect. So the only correct options are A and C is conditionally correct depending on whether you are talking about revolving frame or you are talking about the translating frame. In the translating frame, option C is obviously incorrect. We found the angular momentum in the translating frame also. And if you take the revolving frame, in the revolving frame it happens to be correct. Okay, so this is the solution for JEE 2016 problem, the EPIC problem. This is very close to my heart because of the amount of effort I have put in for explaining this problem and also understanding and reading the three-dimensional rotational mechanics. And I hope you liked my effort on this for this problem. And if you liked my video, please do subscribe to my channel if you have not already subscribed. And please share this video as much as possible and share the link to my channel as much as possible with your friends, so that that will help me grow my channel, and that will encourage me to put in more hard work and bring more interesting theory for all of you. So please share this video as much as possible and do give it a thumbs up. Thanks a lot for watching the video. This is all for this video, and see you in the next one.